In a quiet little town surrounded by dusty roads and whispering trees, there lived a man named Daniel who was known for his cunning charm and effortless smile. People trusted him easily, maybe too easily. He ran a small hardware shop in the heart of the town, a place where every screw, nail, and hammer told a story of the townsfolk's lives. But behind his warm grin, Daniel's heart had grown cold. He overcharged the poor, gave false promises to his suppliers, and laughed behind the backs of those who helped him. To him, success wasn't built on honesty but on outsmarting others. When people thanked him for his generosity, he'd smile and whisper to himself, if only they knew. One day, a young man named Tom arrived in town. He was humble, polite, and looking for work. He carried nothing but a small bag and a big dream, to earn enough to send money back to his sick mother. Daniel saw in him an opportunity, not a person. He hired Tom to run deliveries, promising fair pay and future rewards. At first, Tom was grateful, working hard under the sun, lifting heavy crates, cleaning the shop, and managing the books after hours. He believed good effort always led to good outcomes. But Daniel kept delaying his pay, saying, "Next week, I promise," while pocketing Tom's hard-earned wages. As the weeks turned into months, Tom's hope began to fade. One night, under the flickering light of the old shop lamp, Tom gathered the courage to ask again for his pay. "Sir," he said softly, "my mother's medicine is running out. Please, I really need what I've earned." Daniel leaned back in his chair and laughed. "You think life is fair, boy? Learn something early. People like me win because we play smarter." Tom walked away that night with tears in his eyes, whispering a prayer under the quiet stars, "I'll keep believing, even if the world doesn't." Months later, fortune turned. A fire broke out in the marketplace, spreading fast, devouring stalls and dreams alike. Daniel's shop burned to ashes. His insurance claim was denied because he had forged false records to avoid taxes. Within a week, everything he had built through deception crumbled. His savings vanished, his suppliers refused to work with him, and the townsfolk who once smiled at him now crossed the street when they saw him coming. Alone, desperate, and haunted by regret, Daniel wandered the same streets he once owned with pride. One rainy evening, he stumbled outside a small grocery store, shivering, drenched, and hungry. The shopkeeper called out, "Daniel? Is that you?" It was Tom. But Tom was no longer the humble boy Daniel had exploited. He now owned this little store, built with honesty and the help of good-hearted people. When Daniel saw him, his pride froze. He muttered, "Tom." But the words choked in his throat. Tom walked closer, his eyes calm but filled with something deeper, compassion. "You look tired, sir," he said gently. "Come inside." Daniel hesitated, expecting anger or revenge, but Tom offered him food and a warm towel. "Why are you helping me?" Daniel asked, his voice trembling. "After what I did to you." Tom smiled faintly, "Because I learned something from you, what not to become. Karma isn't punishment, it's a mirror. What you send out comes back, not to hurt you, but to teach you." That night, Daniel cried for the first time in years, not because of his loss, but because of what he had become. He started working in Tom's store, quietly, humbly, doing the same kind of work he once looked down upon. Slowly, the people of the town began to see a different Daniel. He helped customers carry bags, gave fair prices, and repaired broken things for free when he could. One morning, an old woman handed him an apple and said, "You've changed, Daniel." He smiled softly and replied, "Maybe I'm just finally learning." Months later, a boy ran into the store, shouting, "Mr. Daniel, my bike chain broke. Can you fix it?" Daniel knelt, tightened the chain, and said with a warm grin, "There you go, kid. Remember, take care of things, and they'll take care of you." The boy nodded and ran off, his laughter echoing down the street. As Daniel watched him go, he looked up at the golden evening sky, the same sky he once cursed when his life collapsed. Now, it felt different, kinder, forgiving. He whispered, "What you give, always returns." And in that quiet moment, the lesson of karma completed its circle, not as punishment, but as redemption.